Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Policy Party. I'm Negar Sharifi, and I'm sitting here with my partner in crime, Phil Masi. Today, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into tools managers and boards have to control costs when they're dealing with water damage losses. Phil, I've heard you say this before to your boards, I've sat in the meetings. Talk to me a little bit about the tools and rights, frankly, that condo and townhome boards have in Florida to amend their rules and regulations to control some of these water damage losses that they don't feel like they should be having to pay for.
Yeah, no, this is probably one of the most unknown things that I run into. People seem surprised by it. So as an association, if a loss occurs, an insurable event, pipe break or something like that comes down and the association's paying half the cost of the dry out and paying for drywall and stuff, you will see associations that want to be like, hey, this isn't our fault. You know, someone did something wrong. They were either negligent causing the damage. We want to make them pay for it. We want to assess the owners that are responsible. And so there's really only three scenarios where you can do that. And again, we're not attorneys here. Definitely want to talk to the association attorney about it. But our understanding, there's three situations where you can assess back the party that caused the loss. And so in a scenario where that individual owner or tenant in that unit was negligent in causing the loss, failed to follow rules and regulations of the association and caused the loss, or did something intentionally to cause the loss. Those are kind of the three ways that the association could say, okay, we're going to assess you now for any money the association was out that wasn't covered by insurance. So let's just give an example.
And negligence, from what I understand, speaking with a lot of attorneys that specialize in association law, negligence can be a very high burden to prove.
Yeah, so negligence is not easy to kind of, it's a gray area,
Yeah.
right? It's like you can say, is someone negligent because their feed line to the toilet, was 20 years old and was brittle and they really should have known to replace it and it burst. Is it negligence that they didn't? Would a normal person have replaced that pipe? I think you run into a world of where it's opinionated, right? So the association may believe this, but ultimately if you're going to lien a unit owner and go to foreclosure, be in front of a judge on something, that is not something you want to rely on. So what we recommend is to go through the failure to follow rules and regs. I believe that that's where the association has a lot of power to promote positive behavior, the right behavior, and also handle these claims where they can put that cost off to the party that caused it. So I'll give you an example. What we recommend our boards do, changing rules and regs is not that difficult. You have to do a special meeting. I mean, there's obviously rules around it, but it's something the board can do. You don't need to have some sort of membership vote. And what we recommend is amending those rules and regs for things you want owners to do. So for example, like nobody's allowed to have hot water heaters older than 15 years. If you're gone for your unit for more than 72 hours, you need to have the water shut off. If you're gone from your unit for more than a certain amount of weeks, someone has to check in on it.
Ton of snowbirds.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
You can have an automatic water shut off valve in your unit. Float switches to be installed and operational on all HVAC systems so that when it gets frozen over, whatever happens, the water doesn't just keep pouring down, it shuts off with the float switch. Upgrading your feed lines from the plastic PVC to braided stainless steel so it's less likely to burst. These are things that owners really should be doing anyway. It's kind of common sense, but requiring it as a rule and regulation does two things. One, it promotes the positive behavior, so the owners that adopt these based on the new rules are going to do things that are going to make there be less losses. So if they do the right behavior, that's good. But the ones that don't, that are operating with the 20-year-old, line that's plastic and is at fringe, or some 30-year-old hot water heater and it burst, the association can then go to that owner and say, listen, you failed to follow the rules and regs, so we ended up having $3,000 of dry out damage here that the association had to pay for. It was under our deductible on the insurance policy. We're assessing you for that cost. And that's putting power into the association's hands, because you start doing that and then those people are like, oh, we failed to follow rules. It's not a negligence. It's not, oh, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. It's basic. We went up there, the sticker on your hot water heater shows that it's 25 years old, and we said 15 years or newer, you got to replace it. So it's more black and white, puts power in the association's hands. And as these deductibles climb on the insurance policy, you might have $10,000 deductible, $25,000 water
I
damage
have one
deductibles.
right now, $25,000 deductible, and they're not going to meet the deductible.
Yeah, and so they're out that money. It's basically an operating expense of the association because you're not reaching the deductible and the carrier's not paying. So you're able to assess 100% of that to the at-fault party. Again, negligent, do something on purpose. And examples of negligence, there's clearly stuff out there. We have this crazy case where this guy...
The cigarette?
No, it's an even worse one. I go where he flushed his sheets down the toilet.
Yes, this one.
I don't know why someone would flush their sheets down the toilet. I'll let you think of why.
I have an idea.
But it did get stuck in the lift station, caused massive damage to the association, and so that was clearly negligence. Like no normal sound-minded person is going to flush their sheets down the toilet. So that's a negligence scenario. But again,
rare scenario.
Yeah, but feed line bursts, or stuff like that, which is more common day to day, kind of tougher to peg it on negligence. You can of course try, but again, if it's challenged in court and you're in that world, the failure to follow rules, I think, hits this from a better perspective. It gives you more protection from the association standpoint in the event you do have to pass the assessment, easier to ascertain. Plus, those rules that you're putting forth are good rules. People should be doing that stuff anyway. And we've got a whole list of these things. So I was president of our condo association where I was at. I put this in place with our attorney at the time. I'm happy to provide that to anybody that needs it. But it's just a way of taking control. Now, one thing I will mention, you can't double win from something. So if you have a $10,000 deductible and someone's negligent or they fail to follow rules and it caused a $30,000 loss, the insurance policy is still going to pay $20,000. You can only assess them for the $10,000, which is the deductible.
Which is their out of pocket.
Exactly. Now, if it's not covered by insurance and it's uninsured loss and it can be bigger, you can obviously assess for more. But it just this gives the association a tool in their toolbox to promote the positive behavior and then get the party that was responsible to pay that versus the association just constantly coming out of pocket for that stuff.
Well, thank you, Phil. If anyone that tuned in today is interested to get that list or know more, please reach out to us. Our email addresses are linked below. Thank you. Once again, I'm Negar Sharifi. This is Phil Masi with Policy Party.